Hello and welcome to how I play my level 60 rogue. Now, at level 60, the rogue is a very basic class, and there's not a lot to it. But we'll talk about disciplines. We'll talk about how I have my hotbars set up and kind of how I play the character. Now, I use a mercenary tank to play the character. Now, I won't be able to show it here, but if you watch the 20 A Thieves Tale series, you'll see how I do this in a little bit more detail. But for how I play when I'm doing this, so like this is the mob I'm fighting. I play this mostly as a solo thing, right? It's just me and my mercenary for this series so far. Now the mercenary say engages this target dummy, right? And then I just get behind it and I let the mercenary tank it, and so far so good. This has worked really well up to level 60. I'm obviously level 61 right now because I was having way too much fun leveling from was it 56 to 61. I was having so much fun. So you can kind of see, you just stay behind the mob at all times. Now I have backstab here on my bar just so that I can see when the timer is, but I do have it as an auto skill, so I don't have to actually push the button. And then I can hit 3 to evade whenever I need to. So it's pretty much like the gist of how I do this. I just turn on attack, get behind the mob that the mercenaries tanking, and then I evade onto the mercenary. Hopefully the mercenary can stay alive long enough for me to kill the mob. And you can see here all the damage we're doing. We're doing anywhere from 10 to 103 damage, 120 critical right there. The highest backstab I've gotten at this point with a 15 damage weapon is 1200 and something. So, and that was a critical, so it's pretty nice backstabs. We have double backstab right now at 55. We got that. We also picked up assassinate via the anatomy line, which allows us to at level 60 it lets you assassinate a mob that is 59 or lower for 32,000 damage. So there is a pretty high chance that when that procs that the mob dies instantly. It's pretty nice. It kind of goes well with finishing blow right here. So finishing blow gives us a 52% chance to do 19,000 to 54 on lower mobs. So definitely very nice there. There's not a whole lot to it other than that. Like my hotbars are very bare right now. I have a hide corpse macro, which just hides the corpse of NPCs and auto inventories anything on my cursor. A backstab, a hide, sit, escape, which is our get out of jail free card. This will pretty much drop all aggro and hide us. Puts us invisible with permanent standard invisibility. So it's pretty nice there. I have my mount. Range attack. I do use a bow sometimes, but lately not so much. I like to do this. Now, if I hit... So I have numpad 5 here. This is my hide sneak macro. So it turns off attack, hides me, sneaks me, and then sets a timer so I can kind of see the timer right there. You can see hide right there and hide and sneak right there. Just reference buttons. So I'm hidden and I'm behind the target. Now if I hit numpad 3, I'll trigger Thief's Vengeance. So my next backstab will be cause greater damage. So if I go ahead and just click that, it only did 395, so didn't really help much there. But once you're visible, you must quick attack quickly. So it's pretty nice little ability right there. There we go. I got 618 backstab. Just a nice way to initiate or initiate the fight, and then have the tank pull off of you. But you can also just shoot your bow, pull the mob over the tank, and let the tank grab it, depending on how the mercenary is going to work. But your mileage may vary. One thing you need to make sure you do is set the Mercenary to main tank, so that the Mercenary does have that shield icon, and then set yourself to main assist. That way, the Mercenary will, one, as main tank, try to pull aggro on all the mobs that are aggroed on the extended targets, and then assist you on the one that you're trying to burn down, so you won't lose aggro to that one, right? Like, so, for example, like, say this Raptor and that Crawler, right? They're on the aggro list. If I'm fighting this, and he's over here, dicking around with the Raptor, then... that's problematic, because if I get a huge backstab or I get the procs from our poison, at 2300, I'm going to pull aggro, and then, wham bam, thank you ma'am, I might take a dirt nap, because I have a lot of hit points now because I have a mount, but, typically that's not a whole lot of hit points. And I go down fast, even with that many hit points. Like, it's like mobs in Sibyllis were, pretty unforgiving for that, so definitely what you need to do there. I do have a pickpocket macro here. Turns attack off, pickpockets. There you see there, tempo is unsuccessful, and I don't know if it actually works in combat. I don't really do it that often, but I need to get the skill up for the epic, so that's something there. And let's see here. That's about it skill-wise. Now, since we are solo and I don't have any boxes or anything like that, I do purchase potions from a vendor in Plane of Knowledge. I've shown this in a few episodes, and then in my Monk series I show it too. They're over in between the Bazaar zone line and the Guild Lobby zone line in the alchemy vendors there. There's haste potions, heal over time potions, direct heal potions, health potions, and let's see here, that's 4. There's also a poison vendor in Plane of Knowledge by the Small Bank, I believe is what it's called, where all the trade skill stuff is. You can buy from there. I don't think these are the current ones. These are level 55 ones. Does 2300 damage proc. I believe the level 61 is going to do slightly more. I just like they're kind of costly, so I didn't feel like buying more of them yet until I got to 65. Because I still have 18 of these left. Now let's see here. Now it might be a little weird, right? You're a rogue, you can stealth, but I do buy cloudy potions. Just for the fact of their instacast invisibility, right? I can like be running and I'm instacast invis. Now, you may or may not find that useful. I find it useful in certain situations where I don't want to fight trash and I don't want to be, slowed down by, well, it's not that slow anymore, but it used to be pretty slow when we were sneaking. So there's some options there when it comes to that, but having instacast invis that you can just do is pretty valuable. All right, that's like most of the stuff. Let's talk about disciplines. First up, we got nimble discipline. This is our evasive kind of discipline. This allows us to avoid attacks. So let's say my mercenary dies and I'm trying to finish off a mob and I'm getting chunked. I'm gonna probably drop this. It's a 12-second duration, and hopefully it lets me survive the fight. If not, well, let's switch to the healer mercenary and res. Right now, we have 2 damaging disciplines. Now, there's a lot of disciplines in here, but for the most part, I've distilled it down to just these 2. Duelist discipline, which increases the damage of all our attacks for 30 seconds, and blinding speed discipline, which increases our attack speed for 30 seconds also. These are on timer 3 and 4 respectively, with 20-minute reuse times. So that gives you 30 seconds of either more damage or more speed, depending on what you're fighting. Obviously, it depends on how that, all your buffs are and stuff like that, how much damage those are going to actually do. We have other disciplines, but I just didn't see the point in using them. See here, kinesthetics discipline increases your combat sense, allowing you to dual wield and double attack every round, but it doesn't say it's on a timer 3. Now this one's a 5-minute reuse with a 30-second, so you might get a little bit more out of it, but duelist I think is going to give you more damage. It's more of a big burn damage, whereas this would be like a little burn kind of thing. Deadeye, which is a timer 4, the same as blinding speed. This just vastly increases my hit rate, so it increases my accuracy, I believe. So yeah, it could be valuable if you feel like that's what you need. Now here is the opposite of nimble. So nimble allows you to miss attacks. Now counter attack discipline allows you to riposte every attack that comes at you. It's a 40-minute reuse with a 12-second duration, so it's the same duration, just twice as long reuse. I just feel like avoiding attacks would probably be better, because it's just what I feel, right? I don't know. I don't have any math behind it right now. But see here, sneak attack and Thieves Vengeance, these are on the same timer. You get sneak attack at level 20, and then Thieves Vengeance at 52, and I believe that just this line continues all the way to 125. But this is timer 9, so it's, you want to do that. Now timer 9 interferes with throw stone, elbow strike, and the other sneak attack, so those are pretty much dead to you at this point. Fearless, resistant, and focus will, these are all timer 5s, which I guess you could use any of these if you want, but I have no use for fearless or resistant at this point, and focus will just really doesn't heal that much, so it's not really worth it right now, but it might be worth it if you have it on a TLP or something like that. But I play on live, so it's, you know, how it's my experience there. So I prefer the more damage and the speed, and that's the only two I have on my discipline bar right now. This is trying out a new thing here, so let me see if I can tent this. Let's go with red, and then how do we get it whiter? It needs to be like an alpha value. There we go. And then texture. There we go. Close enough. I'll deal with that later. But those are my. This is what will eventually become. I'll have a button that's dedicated to just burns. I'm putting them all in there, but this is kind of building that out right now. Since I'm playing solo, I'm playing by myself. Having that ability to just click them myself is probably more valuable than cramming everything into a button. Let's see, but that is about it. Weapon wise, like we bought the Milokar's Dagger of Vengeance in one episode, and I believe we bought the massive Heartwood Thorn in another episode. So we're using Velveus raid weapons. We got these for like less than 10k, so they're pretty nice. I've been keeping an eye out for other weapons for it when we get to 65. I do have this Airfarer's Dagger of Fire, which is it's gonna be my offhand at 65, but there is another one I want to kind of get my hands on. Let's see here, 65, and that's kind of like my goal to get. Sort by price. It's like the Jagged Blade of Time or something like that. There's always one for sale, so it's let's see here, and I only paid like 5k for the Dagger of Fire, so like price is not too bad here. Let me do this. If I sort by stat ratio, and then like that. All right, so like those are the best ones, like the Rapier of Somber Notes. That's Bard. Let's class define this. Rogue. Aquafinus would be good, but I just can't justify paying what is it, 65k for that. Yeah, here, this is the one I'm gonna try to find. For cheaper than 50k, we'll get this at 65, but this will be a 20 damage, 19 delay. Main hand, weapon we'll be using. Hopefully this will help us do some real damage, and it's got a nice proc and lowers our aggression, so that should evade onto our Mercenary, kind of helping us out there. But yeah, as you know, in this series for this character, I do purchase a new item every episode. We'll probably have to focus on gear, like armor at some point, because we're not getting any drops. But armor wise, at 60, you're gonna want Defiant gear on live, or if you're not on live, you're on TLP, you're gonna want Plane of Hate armor, which is Woven Shadow. If you're in Velius, you're gonna want the Velius Quest armor from there. I can't remember the names of the sets, but there are 3 sets, one for the dwarfs, giants, and dragons. And then you're going to want to upgrade that stuff into TOV raid armor, which I believe replaces every single slot. So some options there at 60, but on live, Defiant is going to be your best bet. And in fact, I believe it is going to be Intricate Defiant is what you can wear at 59. So it's going to be the best slot there. But other than that, there's really not much to the class. It's literally evade onto your tank and backstab, backstab, backstab. Your goal is to do as much damage as possible, and as long as you do that, you will succeed and do well. As we get into the higher levels, we will start getting more disciplines and more nuance to the class. I mean, if we take a look at the ones we're going to get here pretty soon, we get a, where is it here? Assassin Strike, is this it? No, that's not it. There was one, Rogue's Ploy. Looks like this is some kind of like a stun or a mez, some kind of ability. That'll be interesting to see how that works long term, and we might be able to split pools and have fun. So definitely a very fun class. I was having so much fun leveling from 56 to 60 that I actually leveled to 61. And we did that in Sibyllus and whatnot, so definitely fun there. So if you're curious on gameplay and how this actually all goes together, definitely watch my Tawani series on this character here, and you'll see pretty much everything. Very more detailed and stuff like that. When I get to higher levels, I'll do some parsing videos and stuff like that, where it's a little bit more. But right now, these levels go so fast that you could conceivably level up before the time it would take me to edit a video and post it. So definitely some information there. But if you have any questions or comments on how you... Jesus, what is this thing? Go run around. All these mounts in here just run around. Always stand on top of me. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I'll try to address them. If there's any useful tips, I know some people that have been playing rogues for like 20 years like to drop some useful tips. I get those on a lot of classes. I would appreciate it. It's something I'm missing. I would love to know. So thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.